Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chewsday Experience, where we chew.
I forget this part. Oh, shoot.
Rat's ass.
And then we talk about our experience?
Yes, we give you our experience.
Okay.
So today we are eating the delicious chipotle.
Because there's buy one, get one free today.
Yeah, trust and believe.
Actually, we shouldn't give them the credit yet. Not until they pay us.
Oh, yeah. Screw you, Chipotle.
No.
We deserve our, shout out. Sponsor. So today we will be talking about what significant moment told us to come here, follow our dreams. Like, what is that specific thing that we were like, what made it to where you wanted to be a hairdresser? What was the moment, the time, the essence?
I went last time first, so I disagree with this. You go first.
Fine. So I was 8 years old, and first I was watching Land Before Time, and I was crying to my mom because Littlefoot, mom, spoiler, she passed in the movie. So I was like, I was trying to sing to her. Mom's like, get away from me, freak! Like, what's wrong with you? So I didn't understand what TV was. I understand that it was just a square picture of like things, and growing up, like we don't understand what it is. So then all of a sudden I was watching every Disney film known to man, and then I heard a voice watching The Lion King, and it was a hyena, and it was Whoopi Goldberg. And
I didn't know Whoopi Goldberg was a hyena.
Yes, she was one of the hyenas.
I can hear it now.
Yep. And then I watched Sister Act, and I said, wait a minute. She's in this movie, and then her voice was that. Then I found out what acting was, and then I found out what being on TV was, and then that is literally what caused me to like want to be an actor, was because I love Whoopi Goldberg. She's the reason I decided to be one, because she is everything to me. And honestly, that's literally what happened. And then I learned doing literally plays in school and understanding like what a character is and understanding. And then finally at 16 years old, I said, like, everyone in high school was like, what are you going to be? What are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to be an actor. And they were like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to be an actor. And high school, and then I graduated, and I was like, I'm going to college for acting. And then I did liberal arts, and so I don't have a degree. I know, thank you. But literally, that was the moment, is when I heard her voice in one thing, and then I saw her in another thing, because then I saw her in Ghost, and I was like, but she's a nun. I didn't understand what it was. And then finally, everyone was like, it's acting, like, she's playing a character. And then I was like, I want to do that.
You said sign yet.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Oh,
So good, huh?
Oh, yeah. Of course it's very scary. Because your family literally is like, what do you want to do? And
I'm about to eat that.
I'm like, I understand, because my family's like, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to make it. Well, they were being supportive, but also, like, being realistic. And I got very serious when I did a play, and then I was, like, background for commercials, and then I told myself at 25, I was like, that's it, you got to move to California. Because this was it. You're going to stay in Michigan your whole life, or you're going to follow your dreams. Like Whoopi did too, because she followed her dreams, and I was like, she got an Oscar, so I was like, the moment she got an Oscar, I was like, that's what I want. To do something where I'm going to get nominated for an Oscar. Because that's honestly my, like, lifelong dream and goal, is just to get that.
and Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, did Whoopi, does she live out here?
Yeah. Oh, I'm on. So,
When did she move? Or when did she like have her big?
at a very young age, in her 20s, she was in New York doing stand-up, doing characters and one-woman shows, because she, there's a famous footage of her where she had to play, where she had like her shirt over her head and she's playing a character, and it was in New York, and she like basically had like, that's how it all started, where she was doing one woman shows, and I was like, oh my god, like, she could sing, she could dance, she could act, and I was like, holy crap, like, not only that though, I can't sing or dance, but I could throw down if I need to, thank you.
I think I've seen a few of your dance moves.
Well, yeah.
Couple.
She's an EGOT. A lot of people don't know what that is.
No idea.
An EGOT is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. There are only 16 people in this world who are EGOTs, and that is the pinnacle of a career as an actor. Doesn't make you anything, but at the end of the day, it's like when you hear like
Checked all boxes.
all boxes. So when you have all that, you're huge. You're somebody. So that's literally like that's how it all started. Like for her, where it was just like doing, and she was good friends with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal and doing comedy, and then she was in a lot of like in the 80s or 90s, I believe, films, and that I just kept watching, and then it inspired me to watch like, what is acting, what is entertainment, what is a scene, what is a character, what is a PA, a DA, what are these things that like people are just like, what is that? And then
me. I'm like, what
and then
is
you
that?
understand by going to school and understand like putting yourself out there, because I was very nervous, like, because I was like, the attention was on me to become like a character, and I learned from her that you just have to go for it, be the character, do it well, but understand what are you doing.
I had someone I worked with and said a lot of actors come out here wanting to act for parts that they're not really meant to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so knowing what type of person you are and what you should audition for.
Yes.
That's just what I heard. I don't know much about it, but.
Oh, and you're not going to see me play Thor, but you can see me playing Penguin, because a lot of people say I remind them of Danny DeVito. I know, for the applause.
I was like, wait, I got it.
But it's characters that you can do that makes sense. Yeah, it's like basically just like, because I always looked at like, because when I looked at Whoopi Goldberg, I saw that she was a real woman playing roles, but she wasn't she was the lead, and she was very beautiful. But you see all these like stunning actresses and here and there and this and that. But she was just like a very realistic person, human being, that anybody could just like see that and go, I want to do that. So I like that about her. And then looking at Danny DeVito and seeing his height, size, everything, it's like, because I'm 5'1", and it's like you don't see like. He demanded, like, you see Danny DeVito, he demanded the scene and seeing what he's done, and I'm like, but I liked Whoopi's style, because she commanded the audience.
There's something about her, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
She has like a presence.
Mm-hmm.
I know I haven't been around her, but just like in the film,
Yeah.
she seems to have a presence.
Oh, yeah.
And I had no idea she was in the freaking Lion King. What the hell?
Yeah.
Sweet.
A lot of people don't realize, like voice actors are like, oh, play this character. I'm like, yep. Oh yeah. But that's really how it all started for me. Was just very young. I was obsessed with Power Rangers. Obsessed with Disney Channel, and understanding like that the fantasy world of acting, and then in a film, it was just like bringing to life a story for the audience to enjoy. So that's what I really liked about it, and that really brought me into like where it's like, if you can believe it, you can achieve it, kind of style.
Definitely here.
All right, now you, babe.
Where did I get my start?
Yep.
Okay. I actually thought about this one pretty hard the other day. So I never was like the person to like do everybody's hair when I was younger, so I don't get to have like a story like that. Like,
Right.
I came out of the womb wanting to color people's hair.
Right.
No. So when I was in high school, my high school allowed for us to go off campus to a trade school. And so...
Same.
Yep. And so I was 15 and I started cosmetology school and did hair. And graduated cosmetology school before I even graduated high school. And then...
Which is amazing because you have achieved something at a very young age.
Well, I was missing half a credit. So somehow that happened first. Which made me feel better about the idea of being a cosmetologist in general, or a hairstylist. So then after cosmetology school, I assisted for a couple different hairstylists in the salon. And then I got a salon chair for like a year. And then I went back to school, and then I had a manager that did not like that I was going back to school at all. She was like always trying to write me up for stuff, and finally I was like, girl, I cannot. Like I just went back to school full time, and then I worked as a server. So that's where the serving comes in.
Okay.
And then at that point, once I graduated college, I started working at Yelp. And then after Yelp, I worked at a software company and managed a customer support team. And then after like 3 years, they let me go. And then I tried to start a bookkeeping business. Hate math. So that worked out not so well. And then I decided to get back into hair. So then I served and started doing hair in Arizona.
Okay.
And then at that point, obviously, like doing hair and doing something totally different. Like, I had a boyfriend at the time. I had a house that I had bought, and we broke up. And then I was trying to get people to move into the house. Just having a hard time to like fill the house with anybody, and had a friend move in. She moved out like the next month just to move home to Texas. So my sister, Amanda, was like, hey, do you want to go to LA? And I was like, well, I've got a house, I've got a dog, I've got all this shit. But then I sold it and moved in with my parents for a couple months and moved here. And when I moved here, I started working at a restaurant called Wood Ranch. And then, then got into the salon that I'm at now, Head Better, and I am just doing the damn thing. But I'm inspired by this lady. Her name's Jen Atkin. She does hair for the Kardashians and all that, but she really has inspired me. I've read her book, and she just in general is just an amazing hairdresser first and foremost, but just really knows how to work social media and promote herself, and travels around the world doing hair shows and what are those called? Fashion shows? Yeah, fashion shows. So she really inspired me. And then my Aunt Tina, she would probably be the other person that inspired me, because she was like busy, booked and busy doing hair. So I was really inspired by that, and saw that she had the freedom to kind of be who she wanted to be and do what she wanted to do, create her own schedule. So that's
nice.
where I decided, after I was let go, the first person I saw was her, because I had a hair appointment that day, and they let me go in the morning, and I was like, hey, do you have time now? And she's like, girl, come on in.
Oh.
So then that's where I was like, all right, I'm gonna do what I love.
What is it grueling and scary because you're touching someone else's hair?
I mean, at first, when you're like up in people's business, up in their face, but now I'm just like, I have no bubble.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you kind of have to. I mean, just like for you, I'm sure it's hard to like sit in front of people and like pour your soul out to a camera.
You get used to it. Honestly, you just get used to it. But it's like what we're doing right now. But like honestly, because what you're doing is like you're changing someone's life by giving them an appearance so they can like feel confident, pretty, and like okay about themselves. So what you're doing is basically like helping them. Do you always feel like you do life-changing things, or is it more like, hey, I'm making friends for a long term and creating like a bond that you can also be like, I can change your style, I can change this, let's do something fun? Because I always feel like for hairdressers, they have the opportunity to have fun and just like change someone's life.
I feel like both, maybe. I mean, sometimes people come in for just like a little change. Some people come in for like an entire change, but I feel like it kind of relates in general to all of us who are artists, including yourself. Like, you know, depending on how well of an artist you are in your field or in my field, like for you can make an impact depending on how well you can connect with your audience.
Yeah.
So like I have that same, I love connecting with the people I work with and the people I talk to. Obviously, it's like, if I'm sitting here with you, I'd rather know about you and hear about like your mindset and your thoughts and all that. So it's kind of similar in general for artists. Like, how can you connect with somebody and how can you be impactful to the point where you're creating a relationship outside of just doing hair or just being an actor. So I mean, I like to try and make an impact and do everything I can. If I'm just giving someone a haircut that's just a trim, sometimes you can't really do like a whole impactful thing for them, but I know that it feels really good for people when they do get a haircut, or even a touch up. So I'm sure people who are coming in for like a big change, it's pretty impactful for them too.
Oh, I like that.
It's pretty neat.
That's actually really cool, because a lot of time it's like people, especially we talked in our last video, go check it out, during COVID, I gave myself a haircut, so that was dog smacking bad. And I understand that a lot of people in your industry, they can like, you're like, don't YouTube it.
Or do.
Or really?
Heck yeah, do it, mess your hair up, and then come see me.
Oh, there we go. That's right. Oh my gosh.
It up.
So what do you...
Except for if you cut it all off like you did, then you just have to let it grow.
God.
Sorry.
It's the truth. Do you have, did you think that you were going to be here today when you first started?
I have never, until my sister had mentioned Los Angeles as an option, I would have never, ever would have thought about it. I don't know why. It's just so weird to me. Like, the whole thing is so weird because I've never thought of leaving Arizona. And just the way that everything lined up and her telling me, I was like, should I?
Yeah.
Should I? Because I love Arizona. There's nothing wrong with it at all. It's fun. It's chill.
It's hot.
It's less expensive. It is hot. But I've always loved coming to California. So if I go to San Diego or if I've been to LA, because my sister used to live here too before that, then I always had a good time. But I just never thought it was like a feasible option.
Absolutely.
So once I did, pack bags, get the hell out.
Literally. I agree, because for me, if you would have told me when I first started that, you're going to end up in LA spend a couple of years here and do what you did, I would be like, you're nuts. Because I was always afraid.
What inspired you? Like, what was that, like, kick in the pants that said, okay, go?
Honestly, because I was supposed to leave when I was 22. And I didn't have enough money. And then I did at 23. But then I guess it was just like leaving my family. And that was a big part of it where I was like, can I do it? And they supported me, but it was just like I kept postponing it. Mm-hmm. But then it hit me when I would see people play, like I would see people on TV or in films, and then everyone would be like, Scott, you would have done great in that. You would have booked that and like killed it. And I was like, you're right. So then I said, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it full force, and
full ass out.
But the crazy thing is, you're never prepared, and that's the best thing I can say. Because it is a dream, an honor, and a privilege to follow your dreams. Because it was just like a lot of us were like thinking like, are we gonna make it? There's sometimes we're like, hell no, you're probably not. But I do believe that I'm gonna make it. Absolutely, you've already made it but I know
you got a long ways to go.
You got a long ways, but also because I know you do want to own your own salon one day.
I do believe so.
And I think that you are gonna, because we have achieved so much already to like have our dreams happen that the sky's the limit. Because honestly, I literally was like, how did I get here?
Didn't we talk about this before? I feel like we talked about the fact that like doing all of this is in general a numbers game. So the more that you audition,
yep,
the more people's hair that you touch, the more people you talk to, the more people you communicate with, the higher chance you have. Because
absolutely.
One thing we have not talked about yet, which I thought about today, is that LA is such a, even though they're like, you'll look at the population if you don't live here and you'll be like, that is insane, the amount of people. But then when you actually get to understanding Los Angeles as a whole, especially like Sherman Oaks area or Hollywood area, it's so small. And your pool of people that you are seeing and communicating with is small. So the more that you're doing all the things that you need to do to communicate, to network, to do all of that, the higher your chances.
Absolutely.
So it's like, yeah, people say all the time, like, you don't have to move to LA to do all that. You don't have to do all that. But when you're around the people that are going to help you or can help you or will help you, like for you, you're a barista. So then if people come in to get coffee, you see them, you know, like, oh, I know that person. And you can have a conversation with them because you're here doing the damn thing.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that goes by a lot better than if you were to email so-and-so and just be like, I'm in Michigan.
Absolutely, right here.
So it's like for here, you know, people are like, can't you do hair anywhere? And I'm like, sure. But if I really want to make an impact, not only here, but like in general in the hair industry as a whole, it really seems to be that you need to be in this location to be able to do so.
Absolutely. And it's a great place to be for our careers and for us to like do what we need to do. Especially in the industry that we're in, it's like we wanna be with the best. And that's not saying like New York, Atlanta, and all Chicago, all of them. It's like LA is tough, and I think we want to be those people that are like, we made it, we did that. Okay.
Well, life in general can be, you can choose. You can have life be pretty mediocre.
Absolutely.
You know, or you can be like, okay, are we gonna do this big or what? And for me and for you, I definitely feel like both of us are like, we're going to Vegas next week. So. Vegas.
We're going to win.
Wait, next week or the week after? Either way,
after.
Stay tuned.
Vegas.
Yes. So, you know.
I've never been.
I have. So I'm going to try and help tour guide. But.
I just want to go to the slots and just go. Bing,
bing. We're going to be like the old grannies. Just chilling. Slot machine. staring at the wall, just
cigarette in
money.
hand. We don't smoke. Cigarette in our hand. Did I win? I lost. And then their life savings. And their life savings is gone. Practice. Old bags. But that's the thing. It's also just an adventure. I like the adventure because what started like for me when I was very young when this all started is the adventure, is the where it's like you get to meet, like you said, you get to meet all these people, and with a career like Whoopi Goldberg and Danny DeVito, and they have met and seen everybody. And you as well as a hairdresser, you've worked with everyone and everybody in the industry or helped people in this. So it's an adventure of just learning, growing, and understanding, and hopefully just like making an impact. That's the most important part. Is like the biggest part is making an impact and doing something different for once. Because it was such a huge like experience for me to like come here and do all that, and it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Well, and I'm sure there's people in Michigan that see what you're doing and wish or hope, or maybe not wish or hope, or just like are inspired by you being here. I think a lot of people, you know, whether it be just like life in general, want to do something big and different, and they don't, just because the fear of doing it is absolutely so much greater.
Oh, and a lot of people don't talk about like the fear of like, are you gonna make it? Are you not gonna make it? When's your next audition? You don't have an audition? Well, you're not doing what you love. Why are you miserable? And that's the part of life, I guess. And that's the part of the journey, the adventure of like, you're gonna have your downs, but when you get your ups, oh, trust me, you're gonna have your ups. And especially what we're trying to do, it's like we're soaring.
I feel like it. I definitely feel like the more that I connect with people like you, and the people around me, the more I become connected to, honestly, I know it sounds so cheesy, but just like the world. You know, you meet people from different places here, different countries, different ideologies, different races, different sexual orientation, and it inspires you to be more understanding of just anybody and everybody, and makes you want to do better and act better and
absolutely
all that.
Honestly, you're absolutely right, because growing up and watching people of different ethnicities and different cultures and races, I was just like, who is this African American woman, and why is she so inspiring, and what is she doing? And then you just understand that like a whole culture on its own, and then you're just like, what? Because obviously when you're an actor, you get stuck in a brand of this is what you can do, this is who you are. But then she branched out from that and became a force to be reckoned with. It's not just a African American who's playing the teacher or a maid, or just like the best friend who doesn't get the lead role. She became that, and that what inspired me was I was like, I want that. I'm not gonna be the sidekick. I want to be in front of the hero.
Yes, I like that.
Me too.
And you definitely have the personality for it.
Okay,
but
I hope so.
You know it.
Of course.
You know it.
Jill knows.
I know it.
All right, loves. Final thoughts.
Sometimes you don't need a big old fat story as to why you got somewhere. Sometimes it's just the love and the passion of just being here and loving yourself and loving the people around you and loving what you do. That's definitely something that I've learned, because I always get discouraged. I'm like, I want a really cool story. Like, I want a story that everybody's like, oh my God, she did hair when she came out of her mother's vagina. And now I'm like, nope, I started doing hair, figured it out. What about you?
For me, it's just like, it could be the littlest thing of something where I know a lot of people growing up, they're like, I don't know what I want to be. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. Don't rush yourself, but also don't take 10 years, 11 years.
Do it.
Do it. Just do multiple things where and you never know where it's going to take you, because I learned a lot about businesses and understanding brands and understanding not just as an actor, but also in like different fields, especially as a barista. It's like, maybe I want to open up a coffee shop one day. Maybe I want to do my own beans one day, like coffee beans. It's like, you never know where life is going to take you. Just understand that if you enjoy it and you love it, do it.
I 100% agree with that. Everything in your life will lead you to the right answer eventually. So it's like, if you thought you wasted your time for a year doing X, Y, and Z because you had to get by, you never know when that will come back in and really help you in the future. So just take every experience that you have as a human and use that as like a learning tool or a step in the right direction as to where you're going to end up. So
I love that.
I love what you said. That's awesome.
Thank you. All right, my loves, where can you find us?
You can find us on all the social media platforms. Ashley Murray Hair, and
Scott Yeldu on everything.
Everything.
All right, my loves. Peace out.